think that the new Threads app is going to take over as the primary social media source besides YouTube. You might be wondering why I think this. I mean, it's just one more app entering the ring, and at first glance, it's kind of bland. And it doesn't seem to be doing anything special or different from other apps. And I mean, if I see one more post that's like,
oh my god, who else is loving the new Threads app? Oh my god, it's so amazing.
I am moving to the most remote location in the frozen Arctic with no technology and nothing to my name but a box of matches. That being said, I think Threads has something really good going for it. If you're unfamiliar, it just came out last week, June 6th. It's a brand new social media platform. And if you want to look at it in a really simple way, it's basically a very strong, simple combination of Instagram and Twitter. This makes sense because it's in direct correlation with Instagram, because if you have an Instagram account, you have a Threads account, and you can just connect the two. And it was made to compete with Twitter. At least I think so. Maybe not, but yeah. Mr. Musk, by the way, he's not having this one bit. The Tesla fella has been raging and rampaging ever since the release of Threads. On the first 2 days of Threads release, Twitter's web traffic was down by 5%, which doesn't sound like a lot, but considering how many people use Twitter, that's a really decent chunk of change, okay? By the way, if you're unfamiliar with why I'm bringing up Elon Musk and all this, Elon Musk owns Twitter now. He has for a while. It's pretty obvious to me, but I'm just putting that in there in case there are people that don't know, because some people might not know that. So yeah, 5% doesn't sound like a crazy amount, but just the fact that it went down 5% for 2 days right after Threads came down, that's a threat. Or a threat. You can roast me in the comments. But yeah, the not-so-elegant Elon is fuming right now. Many people are asking, like, what's the deal with Threads? How does it compare to Twitter? What makes it even different from any of the apps we already have? Here's the deal. Well, let's get back to the main point of the video in the first place. And first, let's look at Twitter again. Twitter is infamous for the amount of toxicity and just kind of unhealthy behavior on that app. It's always kind of just been a breeding ground for disrespect. And I mean, you can find it in any app, but I feel like nothing really compares to Twitter as much. So it's a platform where, yes, you have a voice, but it's been the center for a lot of controversies. So much so that I feel like Twitter's entire personality and reputation is that it's a toxic place to be. To be fair, I haven't used Twitter that much, so I'm not super familiar other than just what I've heard about and seen in the past. I've only recently used Twitter in the last year or so because I've started doing YouTube more, and I want to have some kind of social presence on other apps. I avoided Twitter a lot, and I avoided pretty much everything a lot because of how toxic the internet is. What makes Threads different? And I'm gonna put it real simple. It's a fresh start. To me, that is the only thing that makes Threads different. I don't know, I see a lot more optimism and a lot more people acknowledging how toxic these other apps are and being like, maybe this could be a start for a change for the better, because it's not impossible to change the kind of toxic culture there is on Twitter. A fresh start on a new app just seems like it'll be a lot easier, and it seems like there's more heavier restrictions, which, like, having more restrictions on an app isn't good necessarily, but also there are upsides to it, and I think it can at least just be a separate app with a more healthy environment. Plus, Threads is kind of starting out with like smaller circles, and it'll obviously expand on from there, but it's nice to actually start out and like see more of the posts that you care about, besides all of the f***ing posts being like, who else is loving Threads? Oh, I'm so threading right now. I mean, I made a post like that too, but I just said, Threads is quite the pickle, huh? It's a little different. Not really. I'm unoriginal. But yeah, I think that with the fact that it's a fresh start, I don't think it's going to necessarily focus on trends as an app. I think it literally will just be like, kind of like just a place to just chat. Twitter without the trends and the toxicity. And obviously, there's always going to be toxicity. It's going to be all around. It's the internet. It's the world. It's unavoidable. But I think Threads will just be better built against it. And you can still share pictures and videos and just random statements, so like, you're not really losing anything if you go to Threads. You're really not. One simple fresh start could just be what's needed for a better platform. So that's just my thoughts on Threads. Maybe it'll climb up to be the highest top platform, maybe not. I think it's gonna have a good solid place up there, but I guess we'll just see what happens. Also, it'll probably die down once the freshness of it is kind of out of the way, and people are like, oh, it's the same thing. I'm gonna be optimistic with it, but I'm also not gonna act like a crypto bro who thinks he just found the biggest investment of his life, and it turns out that it didn't work. I'm not gonna hype it up like it's this crazy thing, but I think it has serious potential as long as the people on it use it for good. Mostly. Anyways, that's all I have. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to follow along. I'm almost at 200 subs. I'm only 14 away, and I do want this to be my full-time job, so subscribing if you like the content really helps. Check out this next video. Why not? Just give it a try. And leave a like if you like the video. And comment, what do you think about Threads? Do you think it'll be the next big thing? Do you think it's gonna flop real fast? Or do you think it'll just be kinda right in the middle? Alright, that's all I got. See you guys in the next video. Bye.